American Le Mans Series comes to CBS Sports, and we've made our way to Road Atlanta for the Chevy Grand Prix of Atlanta in Braselton, Georgia.
This season's championship promises to be a battle between two heavyweight teams. In one corner we have the champions, Team Yost from Germany, and in the other corner the challengers, Champion Racing from Pompano Beach, Florida. Now both of these teams utilize the highly successful and extremely sexy race car, the Audi R8. But this weekend it's like the Roy Jones Jr. of racing has come up in the form of James Weaver in this lightweight LMP 675 car, and it'll be the Lola MG that will start today's race from the pole position. And James, the car's been sensationally fast in practice yesterday. Does it have the legs and stamina to stand up for 2 hours and 45 minutes today?
Good question, Calvin. We hope so. All our suppliers have done a fantastic job. Lola have stepped up on the car. AER have really got some good horsepower for us. Goodyear have supplied us with some new development tyres, which are absolutely stunning. So I think we've done as much as we possibly can as a small team to get us up the front.
Hello, my name's James Weaver. I'm Butch Leitzinger's teammate and one of Rob Dyson's Lola MGs, and I'm from south of Watford in England.
Hi, I'm Ron Fellows from Toronto, Ontario, Canada, driver of the number 3 CompuWare Corvette, and my co-driver is Johnny O'Connell.
Hi, I'm Jörg Bergmeister from Langenfeld, Germany. I'm driver of the 24 Alex Job Porsche, and my teammate is Timo Bernhardt.
As we move up towards the front of the field, the champion Audi, JJ Leto, and the Dyson Lola, and the green flag waves, and we're underway at Road Atlanta.
Boy, that almost looked like rubbing right there, the Yost car and Dyson's car. Look at the champion going around the outside of Yost. A spectacular, risky move right at the drop of the green flag.
But it's Dyson that grabs the lead, with the champion car slotting into second.
That is a huge risk to take. Now, this is a visor cam. You are riding right inside the driver's helmet. You see the vibration. Look what's taking place when we go down through these S's.
And this is on board the champion Audi.
Incredible risk to take, going around the outside of the Yost car before tires are up to full temperature. Now, I wonder how hard is that lead car, the Dyson car, going to push here to try and keep in the lead, forcing the pace, really make these Audis run hard. And look at how equal the balance is nowadays under the acceleration. The car leading, remember, weighs a lot less, approximately 1,500 pounds, and has a much smaller motor, so it's interesting to watch it battle the Audi. That looks like Mike Lewis's car.
Yep, it sure is.
Well, I think it's a combination, isn't it? Cold tires, that's all it is. We talked about the tires not being up to temperature. You try to get as much power to the ground as early as possible, and it was way too early for Tommy. Now, talking of a fierce battle, look at this. Corvette is leading over the Olive Garden Ferrari. How long has it been since we have seen that green Ferrari run so well?
Well, they've done a tremendous amount of engine work on the Raffinelli Ferrari, which is the green one.
Wow.
And they have picked up gobs of horsepower up. Oh, and
man.
look at the power slide up into turn 1. 590 horsepower, 600 pound-feet of torque in that car. So it is very capable of leaving black marks all over this racetrack. We had a lead change while we were away, and here's how he took the lead away.
Well, this is just
car had it, Bill.
Pure brilliant driving on JJ's part. And I mean, he certainly is a brilliant driver. Coming down the hill, the very fast section of track, he gets a terrific run when the leader got blocked slightly. Look at this, JJ just slots up the outside, holds his braking as late as possible, and gets cleanly by into turn 1. And since that pass, he has pulled away very quickly. Really masterful driving, getting through traffic. And you know how difficult it is in downtown traffic? The cars never do exactly what you want. Well, on a racetrack, it's even worse, but JJ is very good.
Well, from the sound of that noise, we're on board with our GTS race leader, Ron Fellows in the Corvette.
Big thundering 7-liter going around the track here. Doesn't have a lot of RPM like the Ferrari has, but with this much grunt in that motor, you really don't have to twist it very high.
And there's the second place Ferrari. Right behind it, Thomas Enga. And Kelly Collins in the other Corvette behind him, holding down third. Oh, and problems for the Ferrari.
Wow. Just tried to get under throttle a little too early. Now let's see how he's going to turn it around here. Just let's see if he does a little quick boot. Yeah, good bootleg.
And his teammate went by as well, and so did the Raffinelli Ferrari.
Boy, oh boy.
So Thomas has dropped all the way back to about 5th in class, and there's another look at it.
Yeah, you see it is just coming out of that back straight. They want to try and pick up throttle as early as possible to stay in the Corvette draft. Now we're back inside the 80 car. That's the teammate.
Right, and in this car right now is Jerome Polican, who drove this car at Le Mans. But his teammate, of course, as we said at the beginning of the show, Danica Patrick, seeing the car for the first time here this weekend, and she's got a lot of first times for her this weekend. There's the GT battle. You still see the Alex Job cars running first and second in there. Sasha Massa continues to lead over Bergmeister. This is your 5th place overall car. Didier Tays behind the wheel of the number 27 right now. It's 5th overall and 3rd right now in the 900 class. Olivier Beretta in the Panos sits behind him, 6th overall, 4th in class.
Leader on pit road. They are making some changes. The Pro Drive Ferrari ahead of them, but let's swing back to the leader where he came in. We expected he might stay on the track a little bit longer. Obviously, they are not making a driver change. JJ Leto staying in the car. While we do this, the other Pro Drive Ferrari coming out, we see the 16 car leaving. This has turned out to be a time when there's been a lot of pit stop action. He's underway. It was only fuel and no tires for the 38.
Oh, man, and what a massive advantage. I'll tell you how important that is, that Leto is leaving the pit lane right now, and he is right behind the 16. He virtually has lapped him because of that pit stop.
For more on the 16, let's touch base with Calvin Fish.
Well, it looked routine, but ultimately they did get a penalty, and we're here with James Weaver. He's talking over with the engineering squad here. James, what was the problem during the pit stop?
Apparently one of the fuelers allegedly had his visor up, so they very generous gave us a 30-second penalty.
How's it going out there, though? It looked like you had the pace of the Yost car, but JJ was very fast.
Yeah, I thought it'd be the other way around. Very pleased with the way our car's going, just not quite quick enough.
Danica Patrick is just about to make her debut, but they've decided on the 80 Pro Drive here to change the front tires. Front tire wear has been a problem. The car's not firing immediately. Danica tries again to get it fired. The car must leave under its own power. You cannot push start it. It has stalled again. She can dump the clutch. Calvin?
Well, Team Yost are waiting for this opportunity. They are very concerned about Marco Werner, who's really a rookie in the USA. Problem with the left rear here. The wheel gun had stuck. Lost several seconds there on the left rear wheel change. Now he's fumbling with a nut on the front. These guys have routinely practiced this, but they can get a little bit out of sync.
Well, major play going on right here, because remember, the champion car did not change tires. Leto has been driving the car extremely smoothly. So the amount of time that they have gained is enormous.
Corvettes now out on the racetrack, and the number 4 car still maintaining the lead. Both of these cars have pitted. In the 4 car will be Oliver Gavin now, and Johnny O'Connell now behind the wheel in the number 3, who makes his home nearby here.
Yeah, very close by. Just lives over, has a place on Lake Lanier. We happened to see that the other day, so a good area for Johnny. A win at home is the most special win in the world. Now, just an update for our viewers. After that rash of pit stops, Leto in the champion ADT car, boy, did he twitch the wheel there as we were just talking about him. Because he chose not to change tires, he has a 43-second lead. It's effectively half a lap lead now over second place. So the gamble there has really worked for Brad Kettler and the champion ADT crew.
The Yost car right there, the number 1 with Frank Bila behind the wheel, currently runs in second place now. So they have gotten themselves, with the pit stops, into the position they wanted to be, up to second now, trying to chase down JJ Leto, Bila, Taves, Beretta, and Leitzinger, the top 5. 675 leader is that blue and white number 16 right there, Butch Leitzinger, who's also 3rd overall, which of course comes from a very famous, very popular family of sports car racers here in the U.S.
Yeah, Bob Leitzinger, a very proud dad. He travels to so many races to see Butch, and you'll see the motorhome over there in the paddock.
GTS leader still the Corvette from the very beginning of this race, but right now it's Oliver Gavin who is out in front. The 3 car led earlier on today. They've struggled here a little bit lately, but Oliver Gavin having a good run. Kelly Collins teamed up with him here today, and they're out in front of this one, leading right now. After changing drivers, Johnny O'Connell took over the 3 car, and problems instantly for him, a cut down left rear tire.
Yeah, no matter what sort of preparation you do, you can never tell about something that you may run over on the track and get a flat. But the beauty of technology is they have onboard sensors that can alert them to a tire going down and losing pressure. So instead of that destructing at very high speed where it could be very dangerous, Johnny knew ahead of time and knew to bring it into the pit. So that helps everybody.
In the GT class, boy, it's been all Alex Job and his McKenna-backed Porsches, and nothing has changed there at all. Lucas Luhr now leading.
Jeez. Well, over the last 2 seasons, we have seen this tremendous battling. Like here, just a second to go. Look, oh man.
Boy. It almost changed for Lucas, didn't it?
Wow.
Well, now you onboard the team car, the 24 machine.
And he did the right thing. I think even though he went through a spin and risked flat spotting a tire, I think he did the right thing by avoiding contact. Potentially, you're going to damage part of the suspension.
And down to Jan Beekes, our leader is in.
Well, we've talked about what the plan is. Of course, the plan is a driver change, a 4-tire change, and here is the goal. The goal is 30 seconds to get the fuel in and get a driver change made in about 40 seconds so you can change the tires and get this thing out under a minute. And behind us, let's go to Calvin, the other Audi's in.
Frank Beeler is in. We expect it to be fuel only. They check the tires. They want to make sure nothing is cut down. The wear rate has not gone down below what they expected, but we expect this to be fuel only, and Frank will probably be out of here shortly. So a lot of activity here. As long as this fires up, we've got a race on our hands, boys.
Well, who do you give the edge to?
Well, Biela's hot right now because he's had a number of laps on the track, but how do you battle against Johnny Herbert? I mean, he's just so good.
From our Porsche Skycam, third car in line is our race leader, Johnny Herbert, already trying to get up to speed.
And the other thing in Johnny's favor that we talked about a few moments ago, he's going to have fresh tires in the car, so he'll be a little bit better.
Calvin?
Leader in 675 is in. Butch Leitzinger behind the wheel, and he's going to stay behind the wheel. It'll be a double stint for Butch. James Weaver will not get back in this car.
Bill, a lot of smoke venting out from right here. What are we looking at?
Yeah, that actually is a panel that is coming loose too, Calvin. You see on top of the left front fender.
And now there's a problem. They can't fire this engine back up, and under these regulations, they can't bump start the car. It has to fire under its own power, so it seems like the starter motor may be jammed. John Field has really been flying in that 37 car today. He's at the pace of these guys. He expected a great race, but they may be handing the victory to him.
There's the 37 car that you're talking about right there. Finally, Butch is underway, but he's going to be in second.
That's it. Well, good thing that they got going. Now, they're within sight at the end of the race, so they don't have to make another pit stop, and in theory, shouldn't have to use that starter again.
Let's check in with what's going on in the GT class. Alex Joe Porsches have been dominating the day up there here at the Chevy Grand Prix of Atlanta. And right now, it is the number 24 car that is leading in that division. Timo Bernhard behind the wheel. The 23 has just made a pit stop, Bill, and a driver change.
Yeah,
and that's how the 24 got out front.
I love the fact that there's always that inter-team competition here. It's a huge risk. I mean, because ultimately, if you let your guys go out and play with each other, an incident can take both cars out. But the competition is wonderful.
Get stuck in the kitty litter like this, and the only way out is to get dragged out, and that is what happened to the number 52 GT machine. Phil Collin, Tony Burgess sharing this Porsche.
Boy. Yeah, that's kind of interesting. Looking at that left front wheel, it's locked up solid, and yet the left rear was turning. Well, he spins coming in here. I wonder if he had some sort of a brake problem.
It was only a local yellow in that section of the racetrack, so the rest of the course stayed green. We continue racing.
Yeah, but I'll guarantee the pulse rate on the champion ADT crew, they just must have been skyrocketing because they could have seen their 28-second lead disappear.
Frank Biela continues to chase them down in that Yost Audi. And Bill, he's hanging in there. He's running very competitive lap times, but he's running out of time. He's about 28 seconds behind, and he's struggling to make up that difference.
Yeah, Johnny Herbert actually just ran a lap about a second and a half faster than Biela, so that's got to give a lot of hope for the champion crew.
In 675, this is what we're looking at here. This very car is your current leader and third overall, John Field. What a great day these guys are having right now, Bill. Really, really strong performance. They need the morale boost, and John Field just minutes away from providing this team with a tremendous shot in the arm. The car chasing them with Butch Leitzinger behind the wheel, which led early on today, only 16 seconds back with less than 4 minutes. Very easily could reel him in.
There's a car off. I think that's Tommy Dreesy.
It is. And Tommy's behind the wheel.
Oh, boy.
Turn 10A and 10B right here. 2 corners to go.
Oh, boy.
Down the hill. He could just about coast it home from there under the bridge. Here he comes to the checkered flag. Johnny Herbert has won the Chevy Grand Prix of Road Atlanta.
Excellent. There we go.
The crew celebrating on the pit wall. A huge day for Dave Mirage and champions ADT Audi team. Now, can the 37 make it? Another big first win here.
Great job.
John Field does it. The 675 victory, third overall, goes to John Field and Duncan Date. GTS making its way to the checkered flag now. Down that long back straightaway for the final time. Oliver Gavin behind the wheel of the Corvette. The 50th anniversary year for Chevrolet's Corvette. Big, huge celebration this weekend over in Nashville, just down the road from Bowling Green, where the Corvettes are put together. Thousands of vets there for the celebration this weekend. And at Road Atlanta, they'll celebrate with a victory. Oliver Gavin wins it for Corvette in Atlanta.
Johnny, you've won Grand Prix, you've won Le Mans, but how sweet is this for the champion team?
Oh, I say, this is a long time coming, but it's the crew, you know, they haven't had a victory, and it's nice to, you know, it's nice to be able to give it to them. And this guy did a brilliant, mega job at the beginning. That made my job a lot easier.
Great stint there for you. What was the key there to getting that kind of speed?
Yeah, I knew I was 20 seconds behind Lucas, and I had only one chance to push and to see how I can close the door maybe, and I got a little bit close, and then he had that spin. I was right behind afterwards, and I could overtake him. That was the key of our race, and now I'm really happy. I want to thank the team and Jörg, and it's great. It's our second ALMS race victory, and it's great.
This team has really been snake bit. I mean, Sebring you had the dominant car there. It didn't quite come together for you. How's it feel sweet today?
Yeah, the CompuWare Chevrolet Corvette was fantastic today. It just performed brilliantly. I have to thank Kelly. He drove a really strong first stint. It was dynamite. Past Thomas, past Ron, and then the boys got me out back in the lead. And I just drove pretty much as hard as I could. The Goodyear tyres stood up well, so it was a really great result for us today.
It's a thrilling afternoon of racing. Great battles, as we predicted early on. Corvette and Ferrari, that war will rage on throughout the rest of the season. Champion versus Yost will continue as well as they challenge each other for the biggest title in sports car racing.